My name is Lauren Orsini, and I'm here to tell you about preschool education in a Christian setting. Which teacher do you remember the most? How did they influence you throughout school? Teachers all around the world influence their students each and every day. A preschool teacher in a Christian setting teaches their students absolute truth, how God's world works, teaches their students not only what to think, but how to think, problem solving, and teaches their students most importantly how to live, Christian character. Let's first take a look at what teachers teach their students, the absolute truth. Dr. Donald Alban Jr. states in Speech Communication, a Redemptive Introduction, that teachers act as facilitators or coaches using classroom presentation or individual instruction to help students learn and apply concepts in subjects such as science, mathematics, and English. Let's take a look at these three subjects of science, mathematics, and English. In science, preschool teachers will teach their students about animals and their habitat. They can do this by showing videos, bringing in a classroom pet, or making their classroom come to life. For example, when studying the rainforest, teachers can make paper vines and leaves, and each day have their students learn about a different rainforest animal, like the toucan. They can then recreate this animal and hang it in their rainforest classroom. As for mathematics, students are learning about numbers and counting. Many teachers will use colorful manipulatives to give the hands-on approach to learning. As for English, students are learning their letter recognition, their sound recognition, and beginning to learn how to write. So now that we know what teachers teach their students, let's see how they teach them to think for themselves and how they teach them to problem solve. They can do this in three ways. First, they can have them apply what they know. By having them apply what they know, they will make them complete things on their own, and also have them demonstrate them in front of the class. Second is questions. Teachers will ask their students questions so that they have an understanding of what their students actually know, and so that their students will be prepared for quizzes. Also, it is important for students to ask teacher questions. Mary Kuhl says in Lessons in Shaping Intellectual Character that teachers must explain to students that the process of learning and the questions they ask are just as important as the answers. Every question is important when it comes to education. Third, students should present new material to their students. Say if students are learning how to comprehend a book or to state its setting, give them a new book to figure out. Don't use the same old book. So we took a look at what preschool teachers teach their students, how they teach them to figure out the answers. Let's take a look at the most important thing teachers will teach their students, and that's how to live a God-honoring Christian character life. Most of their students spend most of their time in a classroom instead of at home, so it is important for the teacher to instill good character traits in students while they're in school. There are 5 traits that I want to go over. All of these are God-honoring and God values all of these traits. The first one is justice. Teachers can display justice by being fair to each of their students. Say one student misbehaves and teacher punishes them, then if another student misbehaves, the teacher must be fair and punish that one too. The second trait of mercy can play into this. A teacher can give mercy to students the first time they misbehave, but then display justice if they misbehave a second time. Next, humility. Humility is very important in a preschool classroom because these students are still egocentric and it's all about themselves. Teachers need to teach them to have open ears and listen to their other classmates instead of boasting and bragging about themselves. Next is peace. Peace is also very important in a preschool classroom because preschool students will fight over anything. They won't want to be each other's friend, or they'll fight over a particular toy. It's important for the teachers to intervene when things like this happen. Preschool teachers will teach their students how to apologize and how to ask for forgiveness when this happens. And last, honesty. Honesty is a very good character quality trait to have, and it is very important to instill this in as early on as you can into children. Teachers can do this by rewarding those who are honest and disciplining those who are dishonest. Also, being an example. Teachers need to set the example for their students so that they know how to have good character qualities. So we have taken a look at how preschool teachers in a Christian setting are so important in the lives of our students. Preschool teachers in a Christian setting teach their students absolute value, how God's world works, teaches their students not only what to think, but how to think, problem solving, and most importantly, teaches their students to have good character quality. I'm sure that you remember a teacher because of what they have taught you. Maybe it's one of the previous examples I have stated. Maybe they have been effective and taught you something in a meaningful way. My favorite teacher was Mrs. Matthews. She taught me everything I needed to know, how I needed to learn it, but most importantly, she taught me how to live a God-honoring life.